This morning, we will be joined by Olusegun Okunade. He is a chartered accountant. He's a public affairs analyst, and I would say probably the best person to have this conversation
to handle this
with.
conversation.
Yeah.
And he's already here with us. Hello, good morning, Chasson.
Good morning, Kemi, and good morning, Adi. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you doing this morning?
Cool.
Thank
And
you for
you?
joining us. Okay,
Thank
so
you
our
for having me.
discussion today is on the importance of financial literacy. Now, for the purpose of this conversation, a lot of people do not understand what financial literacy means. So I would really like you to break it down. What is financial literacy? What does it mean to you?
Okay, financial literacy is having a proper knowledge of how to take care of your finance.
Okay.
And when you talk of finance, you're talking of your money. And let me just put it in the layman language. It's talking about your income and your expense. Those are the two things that make up finance: income and expense. How you are able to strike balance between the two and have a successful and fulfilling life determines your literacy level of managing finance.
And what financial management skill would you say that people can adopt, for their financial well-being?
You see, to start with, for you to be successful
Okay.
as a person, you must have proper planning
Okay.
of your finance. And when you talk about having a proper planning, it starts with having a budget, not only of your finance, but
All
even
right.
your life.
Okay.
I'm sure you know you can budget your life. And budget, if I should go in the layman language, is talking about you having an understanding of your income and expenditure over a specific period of time. Let me put this in the proper perspective.
Okay.
You are a salary earner, you have your fixed cost, and your fixed cost is your salary.
Okay.
What you earn on a monthly basis, which you know cannot increase or decrease. And for some other people, there are side works that they do, which I can impart to as their variable income. Consolidate these two together and have understanding of it. You know, your fixed is fixed. You're on a salary of 50,000 in a month. That implies that in a year, you are going to have 600,000.
Sure.
So you should have a planning to make sure that whatever expenses you are building around such does not exceed that. I was listening to your intro when Adi was mentioning you having your rent to pay. If your income for the year is about 600,000,
Okay.
I'm sure you spend 100% of your income just only on your rent, when you have other expenses to take care of. The short time one, like he made mention of, feeding, transportation, your clothing you want to put. And if it's a lady, the cost of makeup, which will make you look attractive on daily basis. You consolidate all these together. And when you even talk of expenses too, there are fixed expenses and there are variable ones. Talk about your trends. You should be able to have understanding of what to spend on daily basis, transport, for your feeding, and for all other things. Those ones are fixed. You know you are going to, if you are the type that takes 3 square feet, you know what your breakfast costs, your lunch looks like, and your dinner. So when you have understanding of that, you have proper perspective about it. Too. And also, like you have variable income, you have variable expense. What are the variable expenses? Some of the expenses that comes by your sister, your brother, some of the things you comes buying that some of us are doing. Those things are variable. You cannot just put a place. So having understanding and in depth of some of those things will give you a proper perspective of how to manage your finance. And if I want to go further, I will tell us that part of the or the pitfall that people fall into in this current period. It's panic and impulse buying, which is
Right.
you just go ahead and feel that this is what is trending now. Somebody needs to have understanding that this thing that I'm going to get, of what value is it to my life and my future? People go ahead and say what is trending now is iPhone 11 Plus or whatever it is. Ask yourself, are you into photography, or you are you are just getting that phone all in the name of being among at the expense of your future? You must have understanding of this. I want to speak also on the aspect of people talking about investment.
Oh,
Life
very
is
true.
about, and investment too is about risk.
Yes, it
Let me
is.
take a period where some people feel that investing in stock market was the right decision. But it got to a particular time that that investment that was invested crashed so many people, sent some people to early grave. Because investment is all about speculation.
Mm.
You don't have the right investment at any point in time. But all you need to do is it's like you're trying to play a gamble and
Yes.
to study over time how those investments run.
Work.
And when you're living your life, avoid dream. So there is a time that you have a cut-off period that what you are doing, you just have to focus on it and look elsewhere. For some people enjoy some certain things. It's just like somebody who is into gambling, of which I won't encourage. But some people do it and they make lots of money. But you know where
Money.
it crash
True.
them? When they start, they invest 1,000 and get 10,000. 10,000, they get 20,000. 20,000, they get 40,000. They don't know when to exit. At the time they feel like investing 100,000, and when they are investing 100,000, because of what they have gained at the beginning, they lose all. At that point in time, they have even lose some of the savings that they have. Is to
True.
tell you that investment is a risk. And when you are taking a risk, cost of money, but you must know the time for exit. So
Mm.
financial literacy is very for everybody to succeed. But it's not about the certificate you acquire from school. Because you
Yes.
discover that some of the people that sell market in Ogbani and Lagos, some of them are more financially disciplined than we the early. And
Yes.
it's,
Very true.
so
Okay.
it's having understanding of your future will guide you, and that will definitely give direction as per how literate are you in managing your finance.
All right.
Finances. Wow.
So talking about, I'm very glad that you mentioned, like these forms of people that in the particular kinds of jobs, like below average Nigerian, for instance, that are actually financially intelligent with the way they manage and organize their finances. Because what I was actually going to ask is that would you say financial literacy is a privilege for the working class and above, or is it something that can be learned across all class statuses in Nigeria?
Yeah, you see, I will not take it to be a privilege because so many elites crashed even with their in-depth knowledge of their knowledge in the so-called finance. And
Right.
you see some of the illiterates, because of the instinct and discipline on their path, being successful more than the elites. Why will I say this? Your salary is not about what determine how financially stable you are, but how you are able to sustain yourself when that finance or that money is no longer there for a specific period.
Okay.
You
Right.
discover that an illiterate gets money today and knows his onions because he will not invest or he will not dabble into what will not yield dividends for them. He is very conversant of how he got to the level where he is with the little finance. But you discover
Okay.
that they have understanding of it, always have that premonition that the income will continue to come. And in that perspective, he lose track of what is expected of them. So I will not see it as a privilege to everyone, but it's
Mm.
something that has to do with your instinct, one. Two, has to do with your discipline as an individual. And that will go a long way in determining how successful you can be.
Okay. All right. So I want to read some statistics to
Okay.
you, all right, concerning financial illiteracy in Nigeria. All right. So the 2015 Nigerian Financial Survey cited that 31.1% in urban areas and 68.5% in rural areas in Nigeria are financially illiterate, all right? Among men, 48.5% of men in urban areas like Lagos, etc., and in contrast to 50% of men in rural areas are financially illiterate. Now, these are very interesting statistics, taking the number of people that actually in Nigeria, 31% of the population being financially illiterate is actually a big number. You know, when you look at the specific populations of people that are actually financially illiterate in this country. Now, a lot of people live hand to mouth in this country. You know, places like Lagos, they live hand to mouth. They live on what they can earn per day or per week. How can these forms of people be financially illiterate? Essentially, is what I'm trying to ask. Are there schemes are there schemes in the country that can support financial literacy for this level of people, or are there things these forms of people, you know, that happen to, you know, to be our viewers as well? Are there things they can do to be financially literate with the little that they're earning?
Yeah, you see, the best we can do for those class of people, basically in the rural area, is enlightenment and the kind of life. I believe in the philosophy that says, don't do what I do and not really what I say. Most people say things that they don't practice, and you can win several people to your side by the kind of lifestyle you maintain. And that is enough education on its own. So when we are talking of certain people in the rural area and their level of financial literacy, it's about encouraging them on the basic thing that they need to put in place for the future.
Right.
Let me just stop here with this pandemic that we've experienced and we are still experiencing. It has exposed several people that even the statistics that we have given, several fall short of not having deep understanding of financial management.
Indeed.
Because practically after 2 weeks of going into that pandemic in March, the so-called elites that feel that uses big cars, work in multinationals, started complaining because income are not actually coming on board. That is just to tell you how
Mm,
much preparation we've been able to do
mm,
for the the dry season. Because while you are getting your salary, it was like a rainy season for you. How are we able to manage the boom that we have? See, when we say we stay in a state where we live hand to mouth, there is still a little opportunity for you
mm,
to have something for the future. Your future matters. And that's what I will tell certain individuals. It is not something you need to take in place that you live your life to please people. If you live your life to please individual, you see yourself ending in dungeon and you will not be successful. What you need to do is to understand yourself, know what your income is all about, manage your expenses to the extent that you can definitely defend it even in time of crisis. Nobody will definitely do that for you. It's about an individual and about your discipline, about your spending.
All right, now I'm speaking about financial people who are financially illiterate. I understand that they might not have the basic understanding of what it means to have an insurance policy. Now, several times we've taken stories on our training topics of people who lost their properties to natural disasters and causes like that. So I would like you to help us understand the importance of having an insurance policy.
Yeah, insurance is good, even though we don't celebrate it in this part of the world.
True.
Insurance is about salvaging your future, and for every investment, for every property, for everything you can, even life, it's good to have insurance policy. People are actually discouraged before now the approach of the insurance company, of which we have seen that they have tremendously improved in their response to people when there is this unexpected and unforeseen eventualities. Is an encouragement on the part of everyone.
I think a lot of people in Nigeria also don't realize that insurance actually protects you, it
And your
protects your family,
family.
it protects your properties, it essentially protects you. It is a financial protection. It offers you a financial protection. It offers you a protection that is outside, you know, for instance, the bank or security. It is a form of security.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of Nigerians don't actually understand the importance. When we're discussing financial literacy, we're looking at it from the individual perspective. Right. When I say we're looking at it from the individual perspective, we're looking at how the citizen, for instance, of a country can be financially literate within that country. But what that also highlights is the country itself,
Sure.
the economic
Yes.
position, the economic situation of that country. Does the economic situation of Nigeria favor
encourage
financial literacy among, you know, even its grassroots citizens? You know, I would probably say no. I would probably say no. You know,
Okay,
as
this part of the country.
in this, yes,
Okay.
yes. You know, I would probably say no because, you know, as Mr. Okunade
Okunade said.
as he said, you know, a lot of people, the coronavirus pandemic, the lockdown,
Yeah.
showed a lot of lapse in the economic situation
Yes,
in this
it
country,
exposed the
right?
things
It
that were actually
exposed,
lacking.
yeah, exactly. It exposed the economic and financial reality
Yes.
of the nation and people in this country,
Yes,
right?
very true.
So people, as I said, people are living from hand to mouth every day. They survive on what they get per week, you know. So being financially literate, you know, for instance, a single mother who has 3 children, 3 mouths to feed, you understand, she is caring for her children, caring for the house with what she's able to bring in to the house per week, you know. So how can you, I don't know, how can you expect a woman like that to be financially literate, to be financially, you know, responsible, considering the responsibilities, you know, in contrast to what she's actually bringing into the home per day?